KROQ, Klein Alley's show, the voice behind the song in our studio right now. The great Linda Perry is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
I wanted to say congratulations. Apparently you guys are pretty amazing, and your show's doing really well. And
until
who the hell told you that?
We're
I'm hearing rumors that you guys are really kicking butt.
Oh,
thank you. There's a rumors, and we were told by our boss that it's probably a fluke, and that we shouldn't get excited about it or tell anyone it because it will immediately go away. But for right now, things are going fine. And thank you for, as I said, so many people BS each other in this town. I ran into you randomly in the Valley at a sushi place, and I felt bad because I know you probably don't like to be bothered. And I had that moment in my mind where I go, I don't want to bother her because you were having dinner. And then I saw the hat, and the hat was like the bat signal, and I'm like, I think that's Linda Perry. and then of course it was you. And then I said, listen, I don't want to bug you, but I'm at KROQ. You were a big highlight of our acoustic Christmas show this year. I just want to say thank you for that. And if you ever want to come in. And you're like, absolutely, I would actually love to come in. I got a bunch of stuff to talk about now. And here you are a few days later, which is so rare in this town to have people that actually follow up on their word. So thank you for being a person of your word.
Well, thanks for, approaching, because I actually love to be approached. I've never been that type of person that's like, don't bother me. To me, I love it. It makes me feel, first of all, validated, because it's like, oh, somebody knows you, and, things that you do is, making a difference. And ultimately, since there's no money in the business, that's the best currency
right.
for me, is to get like validation that something that I'm doing is actually effective.
I'm shocked you said there's no. I was just thinking about this just for meme alone and how many spins and streams, etc. Just like, obviously, you've been responsible for millions of songs over the years. Probably not millions, but I would say thousands for lots of artists, including yourself. But just on this year alone for What's Up and what's happened with that song, from the beats and obviously from this viral. How did you find out when this started becoming the thing and everyone was lip syncing this and rapping over it? Did you just see it in your street? Were you a part of this from the beginning, or you just saw it and go, what happened?
I was working. I have this artist named Sophia Treadway, and I'm working on this record, and she's like a new artist that I found. And she's young, and so she's like all in social media, and we were finishing up a song, and she's like, hey, Linda, your song is, your sound, that's what she said, your sound is blowing up. And I'm all, my sound? What does that mean? She's like, look it. And she shows me a TikTok of, I don't know who it was. It might have been Sabrina Carpenter. And
oh, so it had already been pretty big at that point. It's already kind of
started, And then she's like, we should do one. And I'm all, oh, no, I don't do TikTok, Sophia. And I had nothing on TikTok. She's like, no, it'd be super fun. And so then I'm thinking, I put my manager label hat on, no pun intended. Yeah.
Is that a different hat?
Yeah, totally. I switch hats, different subjects. And then I'm like, okay, maybe this might be good because it'll help promote her and get her name out there. So I do one with her. That blows up, and then all of a sudden Jennifer Lopez is calling me like, hey, I'm on my way to the airport and I'm gonna stop by your studio right now, we'll do one of those things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I said, Jennifer, I don't live at my studio too. You can't just randomly call me.
And I'm just there.
And I'm there. I said, lucky for you, I'm going to be there in about an hour. She's like, that's perfect. And then she shows up, and then that blows up. And then it was pretty awesome, I have to say.
It's incredible. And then of that, you don't get any sort of, you don't get like a nickel every time it plays? There's not like a kickback?
On TikTok?
Yeah.
No, that's not. Nothing. Because that's just it's not, but the streams did go up. Yeah. I'm just talking about in general, like, man, it's not the 90s,
right.
90s and early 2000, we had radio, and you were being paid on radio, like, really well. You had MTV. There's a lot going on. Radio was, like, massive. Right. And
massive, you mean? Is currently massive right now at this moment?
Sorry. The next big TikTok trend.
Right.
Sorry.
Radio.
And you know what? Listen, I believe in radio, and I support it. I try to do as much as I possibly can because, I love that. I love this. Yeah. This is an interaction that you don't get, on the stream. So, I think it's going to eventually, and it actually is turning back this way. Everything
comes
old
full circle.
Is new again.
Yeah.
But does it ever bother you that somebody that maybe didn't know you because they're a younger person, didn't know you from your original hit in the 90s, only knows you through TikTok or like a He-Man meme?
No. I mean...
What about this meme, the He-Man one?
I mean... So it's like, that's you from the He-Man meme. What's up?
Yeah. And there's so many versions. There's
so many
versions.
Yeah.
I think, Fallon did a version on his show and called me and said, do you mind if I change the lyrics? I'm all like, for you, no, go ahead. I mean, Dolly did a version and she changed the lyrics on that. I mean, I think that it's pretty awesome that I wrote a song that, 30 years later, and it'll be 30 years later from now, too.
I know.
Mm-hmm. It's just one of those songs that will always be relevant because there's always somebody somewhere doing bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Questioning their life.
It will be
decisions.
relevant forever.
It is a timeless
There's always
message.
Political
upheaval, yep.
doing things that are not in favor of the American people.
So this resurgence, did this bring up a conversation again with Four Non Blondes about doing a reunion and working on new music?
Yeah, the funny thing about that is, so at my studio, every year I'm asked, will you reunite with Four Non Blondes? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. So I think it was at the top of 25, maybe the end of 24. I walked out in my lawn. At my studio, I have a lawn, and I was like, okay, I'm good with it. I'm good with Four Non Blondes now.
It just hit you.
It just hit me. Like, it was a random, weird thought, because after I put it out in the universe, because that's what I do. I put things out in the universe, and that shows up. And so...
Maybe that hat's like a satellite or something.
Yeah, it is. And so a week later, my manager calls me up, and he's like, I have a very interesting offer. And I knew it. Already I knew it was for Four Non Blondes. He's like, Bottle Rock reached out, and they would like Four Non Blondes to perform. And I was like laughing, and I said, I just put that out there in the world last week. So I went and put called the band separately because, we don't talk. And I talked to them separately. We met in San Francisco at a rehearsal room. The deal was, if we vibe and it feels good, organic, let's do it. If not, no big deal. Call it no big deal. So the band was already put together. We did Bottle Rock. We did a couple other festivals, and then that broke. That popped off on TikTok. So it was like...
Oh, wow. So it was already happening.
We were already happening, and then that popped out. And I was like, you can't
wild.
plan
right.
this.
It's interesting, too, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were busking in the street. You were a street performer, and people would hand you...
You just went way back somewhere else.
Well, because that's where the band...
Kevin.
No, because I'm saying that this is where the band... When you first connected
He's
with...
got ADD. Just roll with it.
When you first connected with Four Non Blondes, they found you... They brought you in, right, as a singer, because you were, like, performing in the... I mean, you were busking. You were getting change and dollars.
I was, like, playing out on the streets. I played, but I was getting actually a lot of acknowledgement, because I opened up for Deborah Il, I opened up for X, Bob Mole, Sam Phillips. I started just acoustically and playing shows that were selling out, and then the band came to me, and they were called Snake Charmers, and then they were like, hey, our singer is leaving, or mind you, we're leaving the singer, and we think you're amazing. Would you like to join the band? And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm digging what I'm doing. And then they kind of bugged me and said, well, come, we're playing, next week at Paradise Lounge. And so I go down because, it's a scene. I love that club. And I'm like, oh, they're pretty good. And so I said, I tell you what, I'm going to do what I do still. So I'm going to keep all my songs over here. I'll just join your band for fun and sing your songs. And so I did that for like 3-4 months until I was like, you know what, these guys, we actually have something. So then I started bringing my songs in, and that's when things started changing. The lines around the block, labels started coming in and seeing us. I don't think we even sent out one demo. They just showed up, and then it was like, okay.
But then now you've got a new album coming out that's a solo album, and it's coming out with the documentary. So what has it been like after having so many years of producing other people's music to turn back into yourself?
Well, the producer and songwriter I needed to go through that.
Right.
I needed to go through that. It was actually so much fun. I learned so much about patience and collaborating with people. And I did amazing work. I wasn't always going for hits. I was actually favoring, can I do album tracks? Because I felt like people weren't focusing on the album tracks that sell records, you know. Then I scored this documentary called Citizen Penn. It was about Sean Penn going to Haiti during that, you know, terrible earthquake. So I scored that, became friends with the director, and he just very mildly was like, hey, you know, can I come into your studio and just film you? You're so interesting, your process. And I'm like, sure. So in my mind, I really think I'm just getting social media content because I don't stop and go, look at me. Turned into him going, I think there's a documentary here. I said, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. He's like, well, I kind of have to tell you about it because it's about you. I'm like, just do what you're going to do, Dawn. Leave me out of it, you know? And then I see it and I'm like freaking out. I'm like shocked by how vulnerable and honest it was. That inspired the album.
I see.
And so all of a sudden, here I am with an album and a documentary, extremely personal and raw and emotional.
And tonight, by the way, it's going to be at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, 8 p.m. We have some tickets. If you'd like to join tonight, Q&A, you will be there to talk about it. You will probably get emotional just by watching it. This is about anyone who's got their own stuff going on. I mean, I believe Let It Die Here is the whole idea of how to recover, how to evolve, how to leave demons in the past, right?
Exactly.
And that can be anything for anyone.
There's also, they added a screening May 16th, so you know, at 6:30, same theater.
Well, it's one of those, it was just a select few screenings that keep adding and adding and adding
which is cool,
right?
because that means there is
demand, right?
You know, well, that means people are interested, you know, and to me, I'll take interested because that's how we do get from here to there. It's like piquing somebody's interest. So,
but I think also people really value vulnerability and transparency, and it's hard to find that now.
Allie, in this world right now, it's so, like, I did this show called the Soho Sessions in New York, and it was like everybody in there, it's all invite only. I mean, very prestigious people and all different types. And I was like, they were there for it because they all, you know, came to me and was like, you know, you're so vulnerable and it's so refreshing because people don't know what the truth is anymore. You know, we're lost in this. I don't know what's going on. Do you guys? I mean, it's hard to tell.
No, we sit here every day and we go, what's going on in the world? We go, oh man, this is all confusing.
And then I don't mean to jump to me. Hey, what's going on?
Right, we're back to it.
It's back to being relevant.
I want to play Feathers in a Storm. This is off of the new album, and it's Linda Perry. It goes with the documentary, Let It Die Here. What do you want to tell us about this before we put it on camera for the
this
first time?
song's just about change. It's about just accepting change, and we're all feathers in a storm trying to get out.
All right, it's Feathers in a Storm on KROQ. More with the great Linda Perry after this, and your tickets to the documentary tonight. So take a listen, and then we continue with two epic questions. The great Linda Perry next on KROQ.
KROQ. Klein Alley Show. Mornings on KROQ. KROQ. Yeah! KROQ.
Feathers in a Storm on KROQ, off a new album and a documentary. And if you want to see a live performance at Amoeba tomorrow, 5 p.m., you will be there. It's first come, first served. So get there and get there early. Tonight is the Q&A at the Chinese Theater, and we have tickets to give you to that as well. A lot of people calling for those, and already people saying, great new song, love it. A little bit of a Fleetwood Mac vibe to it. Do you ever have a song that you've written for anyone else that you regret that you didn't keep for yourself?
No, I don't jam that way. Like when I write a song for somebody, it's for them. Like I don't write songs and bank them. Like I have to be with the person or thinking about them or whatever, and then I write the song from scratch with them or for them, and that's their song.
Well, also on the new album, you put out your own version of Beautiful, which was originally sung by Christina Aguilera. Why that song, and if you thought of doing any others, releasing your own versions of?
It fit in the album. You know, it was a full circle moment for me because, you know, it was suggested to record it, to put it in front of the album, not part of the album, just like reminder, oh, Linda used to be an artist, remember. And then once I did a recording of it, I mean, it was so fast I did it. So, I mean, I recorded it so quickly. And then I was like, oh. And then I put it in the record after this song called Suitcase and before Feathers in a Storm. And it bridged the emotional transition. It made the transition into letting things go and moving on, so that's why I put it on there. And as far as other songs, I do have an album I want to make that I think will be so fun of all the rejects, all the songs that people rejected that I think are phenomenal, really great songs. So they're just sitting.
Like this was meant for
this,
Gwen Stefani, and she
this was for
blank, and they passed it.
and that would be the album title.
Amazing.
And then I'll put it who I wrote it for, and I think people laugh because
you'll probably hear it through the voice of that artist.
The way I'm singing it, you'll hear that it was meant for that person,
It's funny because even like Weezer now having success with a song that was never a big hit 14 years ago or longer. Now all of a sudden, Go Away is now having a moment. It's all this stuff that was either released or never released or no one cared about it at the time, and now it's got a whole different thing. It's really remarkable. We've got time for not one but two epic questions as we say thank you for stopping by, and of course for tickets for everything that we've been talking about today, lindaperry.com. Go there. We'll put up all the links. It's time for your two epic questions on KROQ. Here we go.
Epic question.
Epic question number one. Allie, give it to her.
Linda Perry, if you are flying on an airplane, do you store your hat in the overhead bin or in the seat in front of you?
That was a great question.
That is a really smart and,
Epic.
I can tell why that is an epic question because I often think about that decision. Here it is. Do I go on the plane with the epic hat or do I wear a beanie and a hood?
Oh,
right?
Incognito.
And then you have to pack the hat.
Yes, but I take it off and I put it in front of me.
That's respectful.
Yes, yeah.
Epic question number two.
Thank you for that.
This is going to give you a chance to
No problem.
this is going to give you a chance to address a rumor that I'm sure you've heard your entire career.
Okay.
Is there a tiny rat that lives under your hat and writes your songs and performs for you? And you can't do it without the help of
You
that
have no
tiny
talent without the rat.
Without the rat. And I know you've heard this rumor your whole career, but we're going to give you a chance to address it now.
Okay.
Take off the hat. Damn
Okay.
it.
Show us what's going on under there.
All right, I'm going to do it.
It's scary.
There it is.
It's in there. I see
There's
it.
nothing in there. There's nothing
Try
in
to
there.
sing right now. Sing without the hat, damn
The
it.
mouse real beautiful.
Wait, hold
Are
on.
you tone deaf?
Let
Sing
me
something.
look I'm going to show you what's in my hat.
Oh, my
look at that.
God.
Klein Alley Show
Klein
sticker.
Alley Show
Wow,
sticker
that's what's in
my
the hat. That's good, bro. That's good branding right there.
What is going on now?
And now she's got way more talent. She got rid of that sticker. All right, Linda, always good to see you. Let's do it again. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the album, the documentary, and you can come here anytime. You know you're a friend of KROQ and have been for a while, and I can't thank you enough. That unexpected performance of Acoustic this year was a highlight for so many people, other than Allie that went outside and smoked a cigarette and missed it.
I have
The rest of
forever
us...
What?
I know. Well,
She missed
I've
it.
since quit
Okay.
smoking,
All
but
right.
Made her
I
quit
knew
smoking.
that it was going to happen, but I didn't know when, and I went
Okay.
outside to
I'm
smoke
gonna
a
have to
cigarette.
come in here and play acoustically for you.
Oh,
Thank you,
please,
God.
anytime. The great Linda Perry on KROQ. We love you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And we'll do it again. Back with your ADD news and more next on KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.